Do you guys remember this woman?
Jamaican people stay here, I have Jamaican people stay here, I have white people stay here, I have Spanish people stay here, and I have black Americans stay here. I'm not saying not all black Americans are bad, but the ones that came to my place have been nothing but problem. Only two good ones came here, all of them. Fight late at night, not with me, with each other. They're disrespectful, they're entitled, they're unappreciative. And it is that way because America has spoiled them and give them so much free shit where they think they could come to Jamaica and get the same free shit out here and be nasty about it. I'm not saying all of you are like that, but because of that, I'm not risking my health and my happiness for people. No short-term stay. No short-term stay. It's not going to happen here. I'd rather eat salt and banana and let goats and cows live into my houses than I have people come here and stress me. I will not hate my business because of customers. A lot of business people are miserable because of some kind of customer.
Yeah, I remember that video, man, when it came out. It caused a lot of discussion online. You know, some people understood exactly what she was saying, while others, you know, they took it quite personal, and, you know, it was just a hot mess, you know, from there. But, you know, but when you listen to what she was saying, she was not saying all black Americans. However, what she was saying in her initial response was that when it comes to black Americans, she said, I have to be a little bit more stricter in how I screen these individuals to coming onto my property. And so, yeah, that's where, you know, some people took issue with that. But recently she posted this video here where she was still standing her ground on that.
You all remember when I made that video that went viral, that I don't want no ghetto black Americans here, and it went viral and it just went crazy? I made that video out of anger. There's a lot of, at the time, I have a lot of ghetto black Americans who's coming at the time, and they tore my place up, break my windows, scream, yell, fight, and out of frustration and anger, I made that video. Do I regret the video? No, I don't regret the video. I made the video all over again if I want it, if I feel like I have to. Now, after 3 years of dealing with people, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say exactly what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I have Black English come here, I have Jamaicans come here, I have Africans that live in Africa come here, and I have Black Americans come here. I have a lot of good Black Americans people here. But there's one set of Black Americans. I'm not saying Black people, because it's not Black people. It's one set of Black Americans that I keep having a problem with. And I'm making this video out of kindness and love of my heart. It really is. Not out of tear you down, but it needs to be said. And I just came back from the States Sunday, and I was like, I see the same thing over there. And I'm saying, what could cause this? It has to be a problem. What could cause this here? And I've been rocking my brain.
And really trying to understand, why is it that it seems that the only group that she's having the most issues with seems to be Black Americans. So then I took the time to ask her this question. I asked her, okay, now when you say Black Americans, I want you to be a little bit more specific. Are you talking Black American men or Black American women? Because I wanted her to be a little bit more specific in that. I kind of had an idea in my mind what that answer was going to be, but I didn't think she was going to answer. I mean, she's got a whole lot of subscribers and all of that. And sure enough, she did. She answered, and she said 99% Black American women. Now, again, we have to be clear here. She's not saying all Black American women, period, act up and carry on and cut the fool and all that stuff. She's just saying the ones that she's had to deal with. Unfortunately, in most cases, it's been an issue, you know, in some of her videos. I mean, you know, putting extra stress on her staff, you know, just the mess, right? And she talks about that in some of her other videos. And I mean, you can see, I mean, she has beautiful, beautiful property. And, you know, what I am aware of is that you do have a lot of Black American females who do go to places like Jamaica, you know, on their girl trips and things like that. And, So that's why I kind of thought, it's probably more likely Black American women. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I know by now, for some of you already just rolling your eyes, I can feel your eyes rolling from here, thinking, oh, I'm just beating up on here's another video beating up on Black women. No, I'm not. No, I'm not actually. I really am, wanting to get to the root of this, because we've already understood and agreed that no, this is not applicable to all Black women. It's just a certain portion, right? But how do we actually correct this issue? See, these are one of my struggles on YouTube. YouTube is a place where, or just social media period, where it's easy to talk about issues or problems. Like, for example, if I were to sit here right now and just do a bunch of videos on Kamala Harris, my view counts will go even higher, because that's what's hot right now. But I've already made clear kind of where I stand on that, on her and her policies and things like that. So it's really nothing she can do at this point that's going to alter or change my mind on anything for that matter. So it's kind of like beating a dead horse, but there's a significant amount of people who like just talking about her latest gaffes and things like that. I personally don't care about that, because it does nothing for me. There's nothing constructive about that at all. I think it's good for people to know about those things, but it's just nothing constructive about that. But I'm saying that to say this is that we can talk about okay, here's another issue where Black women are just acting the fool and all of that. It's the Black women, the Black women, the Black women. Or let's look at this a little bit more constructively. Okay. Now, the other day I heard someone make this statement that I found to be, it made me really sit down a little bit. I'll tell you, it really made me sit down. And if I can find the meme, I'll put it up on the screen, because I felt just like this meme right here. after I heard this person say what I'm about to tell you, it made me sit down for real, because I was like, wow, that's really something. And I'm gonna tell you what they said. They said that the only person that can tell a Black woman what to do is a gay man. Wow. And it made me really sit back for a second. And they went on to explain. They said, now, when you think about it, you got shows, you got all kind, these little friend groups or whatever. And you have, when you have the gay man in the middle of there, he's the one that has the power to say, you know what, that don't look good on you, girl. You need to change that. No, you need to do this or that or whatever. Now, just imagine a straight man trying to just politely say those things, and what would happen, and so it can be a little bit of a challenge to be a man and try to point out, hey, let's talk. We're not trashing all Black women, but we are saying, hey, listen, this is an area that let's try to figure out how we can get to the bottom of this, without it turning into a big offense. Okay. So, but anyway, yeah, I just thought that was really, really something when they said that. But anyway, I ain't gay. So anyway, but let me ask you this. Okay. So we know now that it's not all Black women. All right. But we know it's a segment of it. What is it? What can we do? What are some of the practical, basic things we can do to not only address it, because I think we address it enough, but what are some tangible things we can begin to start separating, or delineating, if you will, ourselves from those that really make it hard for the rest of us who are really trying to progress or move forward. You understand? Because I guess what I'm asking, it's not necessarily just applicable to the Black women that are doing this stuff, but also Black men too. Because you got Black men that just act the fool. Like, it's some dudes that go overseas and they just, like, I saw this video the other day. It was a clip. It's a Black guy. He's like was a South Korean, nice, classy restaurant. He goes in a restaurant, stands in the middle of a restaurant and starts screaming. And, and it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's funny, but it's not funny. And so I know this stuff is on social media, but there's also things that, you know, maybe on a local level that we may see or notice as well. So I'm just very curious, what are some practical things we can do? I would say, to start off the discussion, I would say for sure, you know, in the entertainment field, there has to be a strong statement made by the listeners or the viewers, you know, to immediately stop supporting these buffoons and clowns that they set before us, to try to, you know, that really try to be the image bearers, if you will, of all of Black America, and really trying to put a full stop. Like, for example, that girl, Sexy Red, for example, not too long ago, word got out that she had to start canceling out some of her concerts because people just stopped going to them. And so that I can applaud, you know, man, you know, you got Black folks who are getting it, you know. But what are some other things, you know? So that's entertainment. But what about in our families, you know? Because we all got people within our own families that really, they shame you, y'all. I mean, they shame us. You know what I mean? So these are things. I guess my point of this video is, what are some things we can start doing where we can start drawing a line and saying, no, enough is enough. It's not about, because we can delineate our, it's one thing when you, because we got this big movement going on right now where you got Black Americans wanting to delineate themselves from other African groups or Caribbean groups. And I get that and I understand that. But there also needs to be an internal delineation that needs to take place as well. And so I'm just very curious. So what are some things we can do to draw those lines and to really make that strong statement to say, you know what, enough is enough. You are not going to run the legacies that we have, the little bit of legacy that we can hold on to right now. You're not going to run that to the ground. So, so hopefully just start thinking about that. What are some things we can do so that we can definitely keep, you know, our culture, our legacies, you know, I'm talking about the good parts, you know, moving forward. And but at the same time, literally trashing, or, you know, the people and the individuals that are trying to sabotage it. So it just, all of this just kind of made me think about that. And again, hats off to this young lady who's down in the Caribbean who had the, you know, she said herself, she said, listen, I wanted to create this place as a place of peace and rest for me. If anything else, she said, that's how this whole thing, it starts off with that. And she said, anybody else coming into this space, you know, you got to be flowing along those lines. If you're not flowing along those lines, then I'm sorry, you can't be here. I love that. And we tell people all the time to do that, regardless of where you are in the Caribbean, you know, here in the United States or South America, wherever, finding that place of peace and guarding it. You understand what I'm saying? Protecting it with your life. Because I'm going to tell you, peace is a very invaluable thing to have in these days and times. So, yeah. So hats off to her. I'm glad she's doing that. But let's also use this time as an opportunity to find out, okay, what can we do to protect the corporate peace of Black American people? So something to think about. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys take care, and I'll see you again soon.